Starlink in Red Bluff Bay. In our last episode, we saw a ton of whales and we caught an 85-pound halibut. And now we're getting ready to leave Cannery Cove.
We're leaving Cannery Cove this morning. Isn't this fun? It is totally foggy. Can't really see anything. I guess I can see the tops of the mountains there. On top of that, it's low tide. And we have all kinds of obstacles to avoid. So we are following our path out, keeping an eye on the radar. Oh, that doesn't look very helpful today. And here is our other path. And of course, keeping an eye on the depth. If it goes to 0, we know we have a problem. We're running over to Red Bluff Bay today. We've been wanting to check it out. We were going to go earlier in the summer, but we needed to go back to Wrangell. So we missed it. So we're gonna go try it again. And we think Starlink might work over there, so that would be kind of exciting. And the captain's back, which makes me very happy.
I get pretty nervous when I can't see.
I came out for my shower and it is all clear. Look at this day. I'm wondering if the whales are going to be out here. We are going to be kind of heading by where we were yesterday fishing.
We are leaving Cannery Cove and we're going south through Frederick Sound. We left about 7:20 a.m. We traveled 41 nautical miles and we arrived in Red Bluff Bay about 1:30.
So bright we have to wear shades. There goes one of the charter boats out to go fishing. Look at this. Summer is not over. There's the sea otters. Today we're having smoked salmon and spinach omelets.
And a little Frank's.
We have a freezer full of smoked salmon for winter.
We're getting close to the southern tip of Admiralty Island. Well, we're coming up to Red Bluff Bay. So over there is Admiralty Island, and over here is Baranof Island. And that's where we're headed, right into Red Bluff Bay. Look at those peaks. And then you just keep going there, you get out to the ocean. Wow, this is cool. That is pretty.
Red Bluff Bay is a fjord about 4 miles long and about 0.3 miles wide on the east coast of Baranof Island. It opens in Chatham Strait about 70 miles west of Petersburg and 25 miles southeast of Sitka, Alaska. The fjord has 2 basins separated by a shallow sill. Red Bluff Bay and Pybus Bay are both very popular with cruising groups. I don't know why it took us till this year to visit these 2 bays. We should have come and visited earlier.
I think I see blueberry bushes. And I know that there's a lot of bear activity here too.
there's a couple boats in here, tucked away behind that little island thing. Maybe it's a peninsula. Wow. We are anchored. It looks like there's tons of water up in the bay that we could be anchored in, but wait till you see it later. We wanted to tuck right in between those two boats so that we won't be in front of them, but somebody put their crab pot right in the middle, so we couldn't get in there. So hopefully we swing a little bit more towards shore. We have a little project that we're going to try to get done here in Red Bluff Bay. We have been using a cell phone modem, which has been very successful Vancouver Island and south. But once we go north of Vancouver Island, there's many places that there's no cell phone coverage at all. In the summer of 2022, Starlink started working in Alaska and Canada up to latitude 57. Latitude 57 is above Sitka but below Juneau. Red Bluff Bay is at latitude 56, so we think Starlink will work. Our Starlink came in a box about this big. As you can tell, that's not a very big box, so it was pretty easy. I could carry it easy enough. I have the Starlink out, but I'll just kind of show you what it came with. Came with a stand like this, which we won't use on a boat. And this here was on the front of it. And if you flip the cardboard over, these are the directions on how to install it. That's how simple it is. So if you're looking for the directions, this is it. Basically, you put Dishy up, you connect it to a router, and then you connect it to an app through your phone. And this is the router that comes with it. It doesn't have any Ethernet hookups in there. So basically, this here is your plug-in for the electrical cord that goes into the wall. And this plug here is the cord that runs all the way to the Dishy. It's pretty small, and it matters where you put it on the boat. I'm getting different readings depending on where I put it. As you can tell, there's a whole bunch of line that comes with it. This goes from the router to the Dishy. We currently have the line run through that pipe. It's all the way along the deck here. It's kind of messy, doesn't look great, but for now it's going to have to do. And through the window. We thought we'd be really in a hurry to get this permanently mounted, but Starlink is still new and lots of changes, so we're waiting. The tricky part about this was planning the logistics. I had cell service in Juneau, so I downloaded the app onto my phone. But there was no Starlink service in Juneau, so we had to wait till we got to Red Bluff Bay to connect to Starlink. Our planning paid off, and we had internet in remote southeast Alaska. Unheard of. Meanwhile, I just wanted to check out to see what the shoaling looked like. All the cruising books warned about anchoring at the head of the bay due to shoaling. It's not even low tide yet. The rest of the night was dedicated to some relaxation, a little bit of TV, and some blackened halibut tacos. Gotta love fresh halibut. This is where we were anchored for the past 3 days. As you can tell, we moved around a little bit. We stayed pretty much in the same spot. We would have anchored over here, but there were other boats over there. This is how far out the shoals when the tide's low. So we want to be pretty careful anchoring close to that. I wouldn't suggest it at all, actually. This is how close we are to the shore compared with the chart that I just showed you. As you can tell, it gets pretty deep fast down over here on the north end. So what did you think of that anchorage?
Nice.
Muddy bottom?
Yeah, kind of a gelatinous kind of, didn't stick on the chain, but stuck very well on the anchor. And there's several spots all around this corner that are probably the same, but we saw boats anchored there, so.
Okay.
Plus, there seems to be a lot of room as well, so. Might come back.
And as we leave, we see a bear out there.
Highly recommend Red Bluff Bay and Pybus Bay. I just don't know how we've missed them before, but both were very lovely. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Havaseas you next time.